The sun was sinking over the wide Wyoming plains, its golden rays spilling across the dry earth like molten fire. Rancher Caleb Dawson wiped the sweat off his brow as he rode back toward his ranch, the day's work heavy on his shoulders. He was a man carved by the land itself, broad-shouldered, sunburnt, with eyes that had seen too much loss for his 35 years. The West was not kind. It gave, and it took away just as quick. Caleb had lost his wife to fever 2 winters back, leaving him alone with his cattle and the silence of his big, empty ranch house. Since then, he spoke little, worked hard, and trusted no one but his horse and his shotgun. But that evening, fate rode into his life wearing a torn dress and carrying secrets darker than the desert night. The stranger woman. On the narrow trail by the creek, Caleb spotted movement. His hand went instinctively to the revolver at his hip. Outlaws sometimes came through, and he had no patience for trouble. But what he saw made him pause. It was a woman, ragged, barefoot, her hair tangled like wild brush. She stumbled forward, clutching something wrapped tight in a faded shawl. Her face was pale, her lips dry, but her eyes, those wide, haunted eyes, caught Caleb like a lasso. "Help!" she whispered, her voice breaking. "Please don't let them find me." Caleb dismounted quickly. "Easy now. Who's after you?" But the woman shook her head. She clutched the bundle tighter. "Don't ask. Just don't let them take it." Caleb glanced at the bundle. It was small, roundish, wrapped carefully. At first, he thought it might be a child. But when she shifted, he heard not the cry of a baby, but the faint clink of metal. His instincts prickled. "Ma'am," he said slowly, "what's in that cloth?" Her lips trembled. Don't remove it," she whispered, eyes darting toward the horizon as if shadows themselves were chasing her. Shelter at the ranch. Caleb wasn't a man who invited strangers into his home. But something in her voice, something desperate yet fragile, stirred the part of him he thought had died with his wife. He brought her back to the ranch, gave her water, bread. She ate like someone who hadn't tasted food in days. All the while, that bundle never left her arms. When the kerosene lamp burned low, Caleb asked, "What's her name?" She hesitated, then said, "Eliza." "No last name. Just Eliza." "You can stay here tonight," Caleb told her. "But tomorrow I'll need answers." Eliza lowered her gaze. "Tomorrow may be too late." Those words hummed in the room like smoke from a gun barrel. Whispers in the night. That night, Caleb lay awake listening. Outside, the wind howled across the plains. Inside, he could hear Eliza pacing, whispering to the bundle as if it could hear her. He caught fragments, words like curse and blood, and they'll never stop. His skin crawled. Finally, sleep claimed him. But in the dead of night, he woke to the sound of the front door creaking open. He grabbed his rifle and crept into the main room. There was Eliza standing in the moonlight, still clutching the bundle. Her eyes were wet with tears. When she saw him, she froze. "Please," she begged, "don't take it from me. Don't even look at it. If you remove it, if you open it," she shook her head violently. "You don't understand." Caleb's jaw tightened. "Then make me understand." But she only whispered the same words again, voice breaking. Don't remove it. Trouble arrives." By dawn, Caleb thought he'd imagined it all. But trouble came riding just after sunrise. 3 horsemen appeared on the ridge, their silhouettes sharp against the morning sky. They rode hard, guns at their sides. Caleb recognized the look, men who hunted not cattle, but people. He saddled up, rifle ready. When the riders reached his gate, the one in front tipped his hat. "Mornin', Dawson," he drawled. "Fine ranch you got here. Haven't seen a woman round these parts in a while, have you?" Caleb's stomach tightened. "What do you want?" The man grinned, showing a gold tooth. "We're looking for someone. A lady. Thin, dark-haired, traveling alone. She's carrying something that don't rightly belong to her." Inside the house, Eliza must have heard every word. Caleb felt the weight of choice press down on him. "She's not here," Caleb said flatly. The outlaw studied him, suspicion in his narrow eyes. Then he spat into the dirt. "If you see her, you best hand her over. Else, you'll be digging more graves on this land." They rode off, dust trailing behind them. But Caleb knew they'd be back. The forbidden bundle. That evening, With the ranch silent again, Caleb confronted Eliza. "You're bringing killers to my land," he growled. "I won't stand for it. Tell me what you're carrying, or I'll put you on a horse and ride you out myself." Eliza's hands shook as she held the bundle tighter. Her face was pale as death. "You don't understand," she whispered. "If you remove it, if you even look at it, it'll change everything." Something in her tone chilled him to the bone. Caleb reached forward, his patience gone. "Enough of this. I'll see it for myself." "No!" Eliza cried out, lunging to stop him. Don't remove it." But Caleb was stronger. In one swift motion, he tore the shawl away, and what he saw inside made his breath catch in his throat. His rifle slipped from his hands, clattering to the floor. He froze in terror. The bundle did not hold gold, nor a baby, nor anything a man of the West could name. It was something unnatural, something that should not exist. The horror revealed. Caleb's blood ran cold. Inside the bundle lay a mask. Not leather, not wood, not metal. Its surface shimmered like bone polished by centuries, etched with symbols that seemed to writhe under the lamplight. But the worst part were the eyes. Two hollow sockets that glowed faintly red, as if fire itself burned within. Caleb stumbled back, chest heaving. What in God's name? Eliza snatched the mask, cradling it like a newborn. Her eyes brimmed with tears. "I told you not to remove it," she cried, her voice cracking. "Now it knows you." Caleb's jaw tightened. "What is it?" She swallowed hard. "An old curse. A mask carved from the skull of a man who tried to cheat death. They call it the Red Spirit's face. Whoever looks upon it becomes bound." The words felt like ice crawling down Caleb's spine. Bound. He glanced again at the mask and swore he saw its expression twist, almost as if it smiled. The riders returned. Before Caleb could demand more answers, the sound of hooves thundered outside. The outlaws had returned. Eliza gasped. "They know. They can smell its power." Caleb grabbed his rifle. Fear or no fear, no man was going to drive him from his land. He shoved Eliza toward the back room. "Stay down. Don't move." The riders stormed onto his property, guns drawn. This time there were 5 of them. The gold-toothed leader sneered. "Evening, Dawson. Thought we'd check inside your fine house. We got reason to believe our lady friend's hiding here." Caleb cocked his rifle, standing firm on the porch. "You set one boot past my gate, and I'll plant you in the dirt." The men laughed, but their laughter died when Eliza's voice rang out behind him. "You'll never have it," she shouted. Too late. She had stepped into view, clutching the mask. The leader's eyes gleamed. "There it is. Boys, kill the rancher. The girl's mine." The first blood. Gunfire split the night. Caleb dove for cover, returning fire with deadly precision. 2 outlaws fell from their saddles, bodies hitting the dust with a thud. But the others kept coming. Bullets shattered wood, tore through the ranch's walls. Caleb gritted his teeth, knowing he couldn't hold out forever. Then, an unholy scream ripped through the chaos. The mask. It pulsed in Eliza's hands, the red glow spreading like wildfire. A wind howled inside the room, though no door was open. The air grew heavy, suffocating, as if the land itself held its breath. One of the outlaws stumbled back, clutching his head. Blood poured from his eyes and ears before he collapsed, dead without a bullet touching him. The others froze in terror. The gold-toothed leader cursed. "She's awake, Neenit," bound by the mask. Caleb turned, fury and fear warring inside him. "What have you done, woman?" Eliza shook her head desperately. "I can't control it anymore. You looked at it. Now it's bound to you too." The mask's eyes fixed on Caleb, glowing brighter. He felt something crawling under his skin, whispering in his ears, promising power if only he let go of fear. He gripped his chest, fighting it. "No, I won't." But the mask whispered louder, showing him visions. His wife alive again, his ranch thriving, enemies burning in the dirt. Temptation clawed at him like a wolf at a carcass. "Caleb," Eliza's voice cut through the storm. "Don't listen. That's how it takes you. That's how it owns you." The last stand. Outside, the remaining riders regrouped, firing wildly. Caleb dragged Eliza into the barn, breath ragged. The mask glowed between them like a coal pulled fresh from hell. They won't stop, Eliza said, voice trembling. They'll kill us both. Unless. Unless what? Caleb barked. Unless we end it. The mask must be buried in the canyon fire, where no living soul can reach it. Caleb stared at her. That canyon's half a day's ride. Then we ride now, she whispered, or the curse will eat you alive. The outlaws lit torches, setting fire to Caleb's fence. Smoke choked the air. Horses neighed in panic. The ranch was becoming a battlefield. Caleb clenched his jaw. He had two choices, stay and fight till death, or ride into the jaws of hell to destroy something no man should ever have seen. He grabbed Eliza's hand. Get on the horse. We end this tonight. The ride through fire. They burst out of the barn as flames consumed it, bullets chasing them across the open plain. Caleb's horse thundered beneath them, every stride pounding like a drum of war. The outlaws gave chase, but the mask fought them too. Red light burst from its eyes, blinding riders, spooking horses. One outlaw screamed as his horse reared and threw him to his death. Still, the leader pressed on, relentless. You can't run, Dawson, he bellowed. The mask belongs to us. Caleb shouted back, voice like thunder. Over my dead body. The canyon fire. Hours later, exhausted and bleeding, they reached the canyon. A pit of fire burned deep within, a place the locals called the Devil's Mouth. Eliza dismounted, clutching the mask. Her face glistened with sweat. This is it. This is the only way. But before she could cast it in, a gunshot rang out. She cried out, dropping to her knees. The leader had caught up, revolver smoking. Caleb roared, charging him like a bull. They collided, fists flying, rolling in the dust. Caleb fought with the strength of desperation, landing blow after blow until the outlaw lay broken, his gold tooth glinting in the firelight. But in the struggle, the mask had rolled to the edge of the canyon, and it was laughing. Caleb heard it in his mind, a sickening, echoing laughter. His legs trembled. He wanted to grab it, to wear it, to claim its promise of power. Eliza, he whispered, torn in two. Bleeding, half-conscious, she looked at him. You're stronger than it, Caleb. You have to be. End it before it ends you. The final choice. Caleb staggered toward the mask. Every step felt like walking in a quicksand. Visions clawed at him. His wife alive, his enemies crushed, his loneliness ended. He bent down, hand trembling inches from it. The mask whispered, Wear me, and the world is yours. Caleb's teeth ground together. Sweat poured down his face. He lifted it, feeling its weight, cold, ancient, alive. Then, with a roar that tore his throat raw, he hurled it into the canyon fire. The ground shook. Flames shot high into the sky, lighting the plains like day. A scream, not human, not earthly, echoed for miles before fading into silence. Then nothing. The mask was gone. Epilogue. Caleb collapsed beside Eliza, pulling her into his arms. She was weak, pale, but alive. You did it, she whispered, tears streaking her cheeks. You're free. Caleb looked out at the dawn breaking over the plains. His ranch was gone, burned to the ground. His peace was shattered forever. But for the first time since his wife's death, he felt something stir in his chest. Not the curse, not the mask, but hope. Eliza leaned against him, her voice barely a breath. Where will you go now? He glanced at her, eyes steady. Wherever you go. Seems we're bound, after all. And as the sun rose over the wild west, two lost souls rode into the horizon, together, free of the mask's curse, yet forever marked by the night they defied it. The land was cruel. The west was unforgiving. But sometimes, even in the darkest of nights, there was light enough to keep riding on. The end.